to Cooking with Drunk Dan. Today, something extra special. We're making a triple American bang. Damn it. We're making a triple American omelet of death. It's got mushrooms on one side. It's not just an omelet. It's three. All right, so the first thing you gotta do is you gotta cut the onions. Let's cut the parsley because it's already here. Throw away this stuff. You don't need that. Nobody needs that. What you do is you fold it over, scrunch it like that, right? Take your knife and make nice, thin cuts. Make sure to count your fingers before and after you cut. If you're missing one, don't invite any vegetarians. A good investment is these foam plates because they're awful for the environment. But they're really cheap and you can keep all your stuff on there and out of the way. Now you're probably thinking, what's this asshole trying to do? I know how to make an omelet. You put the eggs in the pan and then you're done and that's it. Well, you probably suck at it. Right after you cut them, rinse them under cold water. That way all the oils and the stuff that's gonna get in your eyes and kill everybody in the whole place, nicer. You probably suck at it. The first thing you wanna do is you're gonna wanna cut the onions. Yes, believe it or not, the first thing you wanna do is cut the onion. Now I'm sure there's some of you out there that are too dumb to cut an onion. So this is how you do it. First, cut it in half, just like that. There you go. 2 halves so that it lies flat, right? Do that with the small one, big one, whatever you got. That way, it won't roll away when you're trying to cut it, and then you got all sorts of problems happening. Remember, the more tiers you get in the onion, the better. Trick is to slice it like this, right? Top down, make 2, maybe 3 passes. Gotta be real careful here. Then, turn it, right? Now you make vertical slices like that, but you don't go all the way down. You end right there, right? So it's still kind of held together. Then you turn it on the last edge, and when you cut, you got little cubes, and it looks like you know how to cook. But you're just an idiot. All right, so now we turn on the stove. Pour it in a little olive. Jesus Christ. Squirt some olive oil in there, and then you dump in all the onions. Now you know that they're fully chopped. If you're crying, weeping. All right, and then once it heats up a little bit, you shake up the pan, you add the beer, and you let it simmer. Now we're gonna go to the mushrooms. Make sure to rinse them. They're full of shit. Look at them. Look at them. They're full of shit. Full of shit. Before you slice the mushrooms, make sure you have plenty of snacks. You have about 6 hours to stay somewhere safe, and you have a friend drive you home. Don't forget, add the beer. All right, now in a separate pan on high heat, add more oil. Olive oil, sesame oil, motor oil, whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Drop all the mushrooms in. Now if you're thinking, oh, what are you doing? There's way too many mushrooms for that little pit.
Way too many mushrooms for that little pit.
No, they cook down. It's going to be half the size, especially if you add the secret ingredient. Now, a good thing to add to each of these, actually.
Normally I would cook onions and mushrooms together, but in this case, they should be separate because
they're 2 parts of the omelet, 2 different parts. So carefully measure out some garlic for each and add it. Now at this point, if you're thinking, oh, Drunk Dan, I burned my onions. What do I do? Well, that means you're a goddamn pussy and you didn't add enough beer. So add more beer and try again. Go out to the store, buy more onions, or just give up and go to White Castle. All right, so at this point, you want your onions simmering on low. You want your mushrooms bubbling like that. You see that? Yeah, get them nice and bubbly. Just leave them on low. Let them do their thing. Get a bigger beer. That's important. Make sure it's bigger than the last one. It should make your first beer feel uncomfortable about itself. All right, now the next thing we're gonna do is a little unconventional. You wanna get some bacon, right? Get the hickory smoked, because if it's smoking anything else, it won't pass a drug test. What we're gonna do is, instead of actually just taking the bacon out and lying it down on the pan and just frying the crap out of it, we're actually gonna cut it into bacon bits first to add to the onions. The quickest way to do this is not to just start cutting like an idiot, but actually to fold the bacon over, fold it over again, turn it, and then start making. Oh wow, that didn't work at all. All right, never mind. Don't do that. Don't listen to me about anything except beer. Once you have your raw bacon cut up, it is safe to eat. So if you wanna try some, it's really good for you. It's got a lot of vitamins. What you do is you take that whole thing and you throw it in there, and then you mix the crap out of it. Make sure not to wash this knife. It's got raw bacon all over it. Keep it forever. Raw vegetables, seafood. I mean, use it for. Never wash it. You know. Next thing you want to do. Take that parsley we chopped, throw it right on the mushrooms, right there. That's what you want to do. What you're going to do is mix them up, and that's done. You don't have to do anything. You can throw some black pepper on there, a little salt. That part of the omelet is now finished. You can let it sit on the side, turn the heat off, have a beer. All right, now with this onion bacon thing, what you want to do is take this, see where it says low? You want to reverse that. Do the exact opposite. You want this thing burning. You want to peel a little bit. Mix the crap out of it, and the bacon juices are going to start to just eat away at the beer. They're going to have a battle royale, and eventually one of them will be declared the winner and gets to give you heart disease. Oh yeah, that looks nice. All right, next thing we're going to do is cube the cheese. I find that the cheapest cheese, whoop, it's supposed to go that way. The cheapest cheese is always the best, especially when it says process and pasteurized. Those kind of words are really good, especially keep refrigerated. We got Munster, we got some American, and this delicious fake horseradish. Make sure to leave the plastic on the cheese when it goes in. As soon as you start to smell the bacon really sizzle, that's when you know it's done. You can shut the heat off and actually put that on a different plate. Just a warning, do not put this hot-ass bacon stuff on a styrofoam plate. It will melt through. Don't be a dumbass. Come on. Alright, the next thing you want to do is add the eggs. Now what we're going to do is the mushrooms are still warm, this pan is still hot. So in the meantime, we're going to pour this cheese right onto this half. So that way when we add it at the end, it'll be already kind of melty and cheesy and good to, well, I guess it's cheesy already, but you know. So the next thing we got to do is actually add the eggs. We need a huge, stupid bowl like this because we got a lot of eggs. It's a big omelet. Lot of omelet. Crack like 8 eggs in here. Good technique for not getting any shells in the bowl. Eat the egg, swallow the shell, and cough out the omelet. Eat the egg. For those of you out there that are complete idiots, if you forget, oh, how many eggs did I put in so far? How about you count the yolks? You can count the yolks. Now to beat the eggs, make sure you use a fork like a man. All right, now to the eggs here. Once you beat them, half a cup of water. We're gonna try a secret ingredient. Old Drunk Dan family recipe right here. Take some sour cream. I have no idea what it's gonna do, honestly. I've never done this before. It might be. Alright, get a nice big pan like this one so you can fit your gigantic stupid omelet in it. And turn it on like medium or something. I don't know, whatever's in the middle.
Multiply it by how much you want to give a fuck.
And add that much butter. Once the pan's hot and the butter's melted, plop all that right in there. Once it starts doing this ridiculous stuff and it forms a bottom, what you want to do, gently pry up a side, tilt it, and pour in more egg. Turn the pan, repeat, and just go around the whole thing and if anything's burning at this point, slow the fuck down. Just turn the heat off. Just go outside. Once there's nothing running on the top, you're ready to add the cheese. Now that the cheese is in, you add all the mushroom shit. And once you add all the mushroom shit, then you drop bacon and onions. So now you're probably thinking, Drunk Dan, that's too much for one person to eat. Man up and eat it. Come on, look at it. Now you gotta fold this fucker. Recommend using every spatula that you have. Oh yeah, that's how we do that. Feeds a family of 4, or just you if you hate yourself. Oh yeah, look at that. There's your triple banger American omelet of death. See you next time.